last summer, I met with the 3 mayors, and we had lots of conversations about a lot of different things, but one of the things that was brought up, and it was brought up mostly because of the Veterans Outreach Program that they have for the city of Berea. And so Mayor Castelli and Mayor Orcott both wanted to know more about that program and what Mayor Clean does with that in the city of Berea. And from that, we kind of stemmed off into finding ways that we can also get veterans more involved in our schools as a way for them to give back. So we created a committee. We held our first meeting on November 21st of last year. And at that meeting, there were representatives from all 3 cities, and then there were representatives from the school district. So we had, that committee has been charged with 2 different things. Our main focus is, 1, how do we create a veterans outreach program for our district? How can we find ways to get veterans involved in our schools? And then the second thing that we talked about is a program through the state of Ohio that's called the Purple Star designation. So I'm going to start tonight, and Ms. Goliath and Ms. Frimmel are going to present, talk a little bit about the Purple Star designation. One of our goals is really by the end of next school year, the 23-24 school year, is that we have all 5 buildings in our district that they will have earned the Purple Star designation. So what's it all about? I'm going to let these 2 ladies kind of share that information, starting with kind of the roadmap of how we get to that. So, ladies,
I might mess that up.
There you go.
Well, just to introduce myself, I'm Helena Clean Goliath. I'm an intervention specialist at Grindstone Elementary.
And I'm Karen Frimmel, and I'm the assistant principal at Big Creek Elementary School.
So I'll see if I can get this started. And we're not experts at this because it's in its infancy, so we're new to it. And every time I look this up, I'm learning something new. So last August, before the beginning of the school year, I saw that Tracy had met, like she said, with the mayors, and she talked about the Purple Star. And I thought, well, I'm kind of interested in this. I'll see what it is. Well, next thing you know, I'm on the committee. So, I know, I'm just kidding. The Purple Star Award is when it's like we're recognizing our Titans. It's the same as recognizing a unique set of Titans. And those are our students who come from military families. And they're actually students that are from active military families. And then actually the state of Ohio started the Purple Star, which I was unaware of, but like I said, I've learned a lot since we've been implementing this program. It was started in the state of Ohio. As of date, we know there's close to 13,000 students in the state of Ohio that have parents that are in active military. And what we need to do for these children within our own district is to know that empower them, that we're there to take care of them. They're probably the most unique set of students that we have due to the fact that their life also evolves around what their parents do as a living. So within their school age years, they move anytime between 6 to 9 times from kindergarten to 12th grade. So our job as teachers and staff and community members is to make them feel welcome, no matter if they're coming from city to city or coming from state to state, and making sure that we take their records, that they can join extracurricular activities, they're ready for college. So that's what we're here to do. So for the Purple Star, you have to apply for it. Yes. I think I must be jumping ahead because this is Karen's slide. Sorry.
Well, she is very passionate about it, and actually she inspired me as well as Tracy Wheeler when I was invited to the committee in November as well. And this has always held a very important part in my own personal life in just what I value the men and women that help serve our country. So I was really excited to be asked to be part of this committee and to do the work. I didn't quite know what it all involved, but like Helena had said, you start thinking, you begin to learn, and then it's like a giant, there's giant layers that you peel back and you realize that there's more and more to learn. So in order to have this recognition or this designation, you do have to apply for, annually, you have to apply for the designation, and the applications open in November and they close in December 15th of 2022. So annually, those are the dates. And you have to go through some specific training that is an online training to be the person that is the designee for your building. You also have to have specific events, and we will share some of the things that we did prior to December 15th. You have events post December 15th, but you have to have some that occur prior to that December 15th deadline as well. And this is the time in January when they review, January and February, they review those applications. And between February and March, you may be in contact from the committee to let you know, are there other pieces of information that we need to gather from the schools that have applied. For this year, since it is so new, our goal is next year to have everybody apply, but this year, Big Creek and Grindstone both did submit an application by the 15th deadline. And we're looking forward to April, the announcement of being designated as a Purple Star school designee. So schools must also renew every 3 years. So once this happens, we would resubmit that application 3 years from now annually. So we're going to share a little bit more about what we've done.
We've pretty much covered. Oh, well, we have the military.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that, do we tend to go to that?
Yeah, you should.
Oh, I don't know the name.
That's okay. So we have very specific application requirements, the points of contact for the military families. And so at Grindstone, Helena is the point of contact, and at Big Creek Elementary School, I am the point of contact. You also need to begin the development of a military resource page, which we have just opened. There's professional development that is required, not only for ourselves, but then we also have the staff participate in that so that they understand how important this work is. Activities that celebrate the military families and connections to students, and then we also have to provide our artifacts, our evidence of our participation.
So one thing we had to do was make a resource page on our website, and with the help of Christina through our through the board office, we came up with a website that's under the parent and children's or students tab, which gives information if you're from a military family, in case you needed some resources to go to. We also put a book corner in there so parents can read stories to their students or their children. I mean, that would kind of maybe help them with information, why mom maybe got deployed or why dad is deployed or why mom's not coming back right now. We also have some information on there where they can go watch videos that are from Sesame Street is a program that offers a lot of different videos for children to watch that are connected to military families. So that's, like I said, that's on our website if you're interested in going in and looking at that. It also gives some resources within the community that families can go to, whether it's the pantries or even the Veterans Outreach Program, which they can go in and get some more information depending on what their need is. Now at Grindstone, we were able to start this program a little earlier. It's nice too that, because I'm also at Grindstone the K-Kid Advisors, which is a service club in 4th grade that I do once a month with our 4th graders. And I noticed that a lot of the activities our K-Kids had already started, so we were able to to begin this application process early. So you'll see that in the month of October, we do recognize our military veterans active and ones who are retired or no longer with us. We did it as a school-wide program, and we recognized all veterans within the families, and then we attached names to flags and posted on the front of the grindstone tree lawn, and we had close to 300 flags out there. So that would be counted as an activity that we can use toward the application. On the top right, you will see a 5x7 banner that we came up with that we post at the classroom of each teacher's doorway that has a child in their classroom where a parent is part of one of the branches of the military. And it just lets them know that this is a classroom of a military student. And then it's there so all the students or staff or parents walking past can recognize that classroom in their own way. Our third graders also did a concert in November, and they wrote letters to different veterans and they had it posted. At the concert itself, they had invited active and non-active military veterans to come, and they were recognized at the concert. Another thing that we do is in October, we start collecting candy for treats for treats, and then we let the Berea Veterans Program in Berea know that we have this candy, and then they put a message out there for anyone who has children who might be part of the military or family members, and then the candy is shipped all around. This past year, we had candy that was shipped to a ship that was actually on its way to the Rock of Gibraltar. We had candy shipped, mailed to Texas, Alaska, and then we also got a note from a station in England that received a box of our candy. So it was really nice to see that, those letters coming back, and then we share those with the children.
We have similar activities at Big Creek Elementary School. We salute the veterans and the family members of veterans at a concert where we invite all prior and current veterans, servicemen, to come, and we acknowledge them and recognize them, not only with a celebration of songs, but also with a celebration of slides and pictures of them through the ages of their service. Some of the pictures include children with family members that are servicemen, but some, and women, but some are just historical pictures and referencing where they served and what that experience might be. Students created buttons that were distributed also recognizing, working with our makerspace and recognizing different servicemen and what they had done to support their country. And also students wrote postcards and sent them to the veterans to have that school connection, to thank them for the service that they provide for our country. On another note, something very new that I had never experienced this year was we had a new student enroll, and within 5 days prior to that enrollment, that mother of the child had been deployed for service. And it was something that was so eye-opening to me, something that happened that was so sudden that we had to think of different ways for this young early learner to connect to their family. And so one of the things that we would do during our PTA events or our donuts for dads and moms is we literally opened up a face page, and the mom was able to join us in her deployment location in Poland and be with her entire family and that young early learner and celebrate the experiences that were happening across the school. And I have to tell you that that experience for me changed my perspective on how critical and how challenging it is that these children, when their parents are deployed, that we're there to support them and help them make those connections.
So I want to, everything that these ladies talked about is amazing, and it really is for us to provide another way to meet the needs of our kids in our district, right? And again, I'm an aunt of a military guy who was deployed and missed 2 months after his son was born, and comes back and we've got a walker. And what that does to a family. So this just gives us another opportunity, another way to assist with our students and their families of our active military families. I do want to give a huge shout out to Helena. She when this whole thing started, and when we first met as our committee, she was the rock star. No disrespect, Karen. She was the rock star that she's kind of like everybody else who's representing, who's the military liaison person from each building, is actually an administrator, except for Grindstone. And Helena has taken on that role, and she has done an incredible job and has set a real tone for what the other buildings are doing to be able to acknowledge and to assist with the families of our active military members. So I thank you both very, very much. Well, I'm thinking that they say the February, March is the revision period, and so we haven't heard anything yet, so that might be a good sign. So if we don't hear anything by the end of March, I think it's probably a pretty solid opportunity for us to have at least 2 Purple Star designated schools by the end of the year. So, and thank you to the both of you for doing that. I appreciate it. So just in addition to that, I'm going to talk real quick. Again, the second focus of that was just what kind of opportunities, so this is active military, but what can we do in our district then to also give some opportunities to our veterans? So again, I met with the 3 mayors that Mayor Orcott in August of 22 hosted like a Tri-City meeting for me and the 3 mayors, really just to invite veterans from the 3 communities to come in and to hear kind of the things we were talking about. That was such infancy stage. At that point, we were really not able to say, X, Y, and Z, this is what we were going to do. So after that meeting in August, we met then as that team in November. And one of the things that team focused on was, well, what kind of opportunities are we talking about? There was a lot of talk about, we know all veterans can't do all kinds of things. And so this was kind of the list that we created as a team of the different opportunities that we thought would be available to some of our veterans. Again, from tutoring to being a reading buddy, to maybe just being in the lunchroom chatting with kids, all the way up to, can we bring some of these folks in to have some military career discussions with kids on career days? Can we bring some of these folks in who can can come into a social studies class and talk about a certain topic? There's going to be some vetting of that, just so you know. One of the requirements, and again, I learned so much. We have so many good resources in this district. What is it, the DD 219? What form? So 214, I couldn't remember, it was 214 or 219. DD 214 is basically when you're relieved of your military duty, you get a DD 214, and it kind of tells us a little bit about them. And so that is one of the things that we've required of them. Not all of them in the situations that we're in, do they have to be background checked? Because in most situations, they will be directly with other adults with kids, and that's kind of how we do that. So we put out that application starting and creating the application too. So that was a whole team process of, here's a sample application, let's take a look at it, what do you think, give us your feedback and input. And it was great being able to talk to some of these veterans that are on our committee who are very knowledgeable and who are still very passionate about continuing to serve and give back to their communities. So I will tell you, as of today, we have 3 people who have filled out the application. That will still have a vetting piece where there'll be a team from our initial team who'll sit down and take a look at the applications, to look at the DD 214s, and to be able to decide, yes, this person we can put in the things that they've selected, where they've selected, and this will work out very well. So again, to have school personnel on that, to have Helena as part of that team, and then to have some of the veterans from our community serving on that committee and on those specific teams is really going to be helpful. So again, this is on our website, and again, if anyone has any questions, they can just reach out to me and we can answer that for them. So any questions that you might have? We're really excited. Again, the Purple Star designation to me is significant. As I said, just as another way to help our families, and especially talking about a young kiddo who just lost his mom to deployment, and we know that that can be life-changing for our children. So what kinds of things can we put in place to help them?